Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Lincoln Ross, President and CEO of CircleBlack, to discuss the type of technology solutions advisors need to adapt to investor preferences. Lincoln, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
You got it. And CNBC estimates that $68 trillion of wealth will transfer from the baby boom generation to Gen X, Millennial, and Gen Z generations over the next 25 years. How will advisors need to adapt?
Sure. So as we've seen, and there's a lot of studies around how these next generations are really preferring to engage with their investments and their advisors in a digital way. We've seen another study showing that investors under 35, 72% of them prefer to access their investment accounts via a mobile app, compared to investors over 55. Answer that same question, 29% prefer to access their investments via a mobile app. It's just one data point that indicates how these next generations are preferring to interact with their advisors, and they really want it in a digital way. So advisors need to respond to this trend to service these next generations. And of course, they need to do that with technology. And they recognize this. There was a recent Investment News survey where over 76% of advisors estimated that they needed to leverage technology to grow their practice. And so what the problem they're facing, though, is there's a wide variety of technology solutions in the wealth tech ecosystem. There's many powerful, deep technology solutions that can help them deliver better advice, but oftentimes they don't work that well together. And the research and the data shows that as well. In that same survey, advisors surveyed asked how do they want to choose the technology solutions that they use. Overwhelmingly, they said they want open architecture. They want to choose the best fit software for their practice. And yet the next question, what's their biggest technology pain point today? Overwhelmingly, they say the tools don't integrate well together. So,
Right.
Well, go ahead.
So Lincoln, what are they looking for when you're saying, I believe the number of 79% of people under 35 want to access their accounts through an app? Are they also looking for someone that they can talk to help them with their investments, or robo-advisory?
No, they definitely want a hybrid. That's been clear in a lot of the research that we've seen. Investors want to have a digital access to their investments, digital access to their accounts, but they also want to be able to access an advisor and get that human advice from a person that really understands them, really understands their situation. We're all unique. We all have different hopes and dreams. And we really see the power of an advisor that is leveraging technology to bring that human dimension to an advice situation, but leverage the software and the technology capabilities to do it in a better way.
Yeah, I'm sure 2022 and how volatile the markets were, even going into 2023, shows the value of having an advisor in addition to being able to access it on an app. Because if you were only strictly working robo-advisory and just using models, it could be really challenging. A lot of investors under 35 have never experienced prolonged volatility like we've seen in the market. So how are advisors responding? Are they leveraging fintech? Are they incorporating social media into their practices? How are they becoming more accessible?
Sure. So one way that they're responding to this is they're identifying solutions that help them stitch together or integrate these powerful capabilities that they have access to. So, for example, there are a number of great financial planning tools, and that's what we see a lot of this next generation. They don't want an investment product pitch. They don't want to hear about the next best stock. They want to hear about how an advisor is helping them think about their entire life, their entire financial plan, what their hopes and dreams are, how they want to save for retirement, how they want to save for their children's education. If they're lucky enough, what they can pass on to the next generation. And so we see financial planning software as a really powerful tool that help advisors deliver that holistic financial plan and that holistic advice. So that's one really powerful capability. Another one is risk assessment tools. having a risk conversation with a client is really hard. Historically, they've been these really kind of academic 10 to 12 questionnaires that ask questions about standard deviation and volatility, and questions that a typical investor really doesn't even understand what they're answering, and that ends up recommending an asset allocation. There's some great new tools that have been developed over the past decade or so that engage a client in a much more meaningful risk evaluation process that gets to a much better answer of, are they really comfortable if the market goes down 20%? Are they going to want to liquidate and run to cash? Or do they have enough risk tolerance that they can handle that type of volatility? So these are examples of some of the great tools that have been developed. And like I said, having those then integrate together and be delivered to the client in a unified experience is really what we think is what's going to set the next generation advisor apart. Being able to bring that all together into one experience with the client.
I actually think that's really quite encouraging, because we tend to hear so much in financial media about meme stocks, or what's trending on social media, and the more riskier aspects of what's perceived to be next gen trading. Meanwhile, it sounds to me that they are thinking further out, and that perhaps this volatility we saw over the past 1.5 years is a good thing, teaching them that, you know, you do have to care about the future, and it matters in your 20s and 30s. So I think it's really quite encouraging the way the next generation of investors are looking towards their longer term goals.
I totally agree. And I think the software ecosystem is responding to that and delivering some really powerful capabilities that are helping advisors have those conversations with their clients.
All right, Lincoln, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Great.
I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.